And then we've got Chris Grant here from Midway Auto and RV. Am I saying that right too?
Yep, Midway Auto and RV.
Yeah, awesome. So anyway, I was just mentioning as you came in, and I mentioned in the lobby, you guys had a big grand opening in the last week with the chamber, and then you guys had a big grand opening, and you had like a Ferris wheel out there.
We did, yeah. We thought it
was that was big. How big was that thing?
I'm not sure, but it was giant. It was a nice billboard to get people to come in, and it worked pretty well.
No, it was, I mean, because I was talking, like I mentioned, I was talking to Pat with Croft Marketing Group, and he's like, Chris has got a Ferris wheel down there, dude. I'm like, that is legit. So, I mean, that's a great way to get people out there as opposed to just, sale. It was really, really cool. So,
right.
So new location,
Yep.
just off Frontage Road.
Yes.
South Frontage Road, South Frontage Road.
South.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so just between, how do you describe exactly where it's at? I would say between like City Center exit and the Harley shop, somewhere in between there. What do you use? What do you guys say is the landmark?
We use Cracker Barrel because people
there you
know
go.
what exit that's
there you
on.
go. There
so
you
we're
go.
We're just west of Cracker Barrel there.
That makes sense. See, you're already way smarter than me. But I was looking up you online. I got to creep on you since I'm going to interview you. But I know I saw like 3 words: faith, family, and business, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. You look like you have a beautiful family. It sounds like you and Hannah are from the same hometown.
We are, yeah.
Powell.
Yeah.
Powell, Wyoming,
where all
represent.
Right.
The best people come from there.
That's where the cool kids are born.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. So how long have you been here in Billings, Chris?
Just over 7 years. So we moved up here knowing that we wanted to open a dealership. Went into business with my Uncle Keith. I just stopped on the side of the road in in Laurel to because I saw our previous location was just south of the refinery on the other side of the river next to Fat Fender Freddy's.
Yep.
And it used to be a radiator shop there. But I had been searching everywhere. We wanted to be in Laurel because our other dealerships were in small towns as well.
Sure.
So Lovell, Wyoming, Cody, Wyoming, Worland, Wyoming. And I told my uncle when I was going to go into business with I don't want to live in a small town.
Right.
But our business plan was kind of made for small towns. And so he said, well, let's open a dealership in Laurel that's close enough to Billings, so you don't need to live in a small town. You can you can live in Billings. And so I drove around looking for land, looking for real estate. There's nothing in Laurel.
Right.
I mean, with
all the good stuff's taken up.
Yeah, it's taken up.
Yeah.
So I saw this bright blue radiator shop on the side of the road, and I saw that the road had quite a bit of traffic. So I just stopped in and said, "Hey, would you guys ever consider selling this?" And the guy that owned it at the time said, "Yeah, I could retire." So we bought it.
Timing is everything, isn't it?
Yep, so we bought it and expanded quickly. We remodeled the building that he was in. There was a house next door to it. Once we outgrew our 1 acre lot, we bought that house, tore it down, expanded the lot that side, and then we ended up leasing the old bread store.
Yep, that's right. That was there.
Expanded that way, and then all that land was taken up.
Sure. Then finally, you're like, we're stuck.
Right.
Right.
So at about 5.5, 6 years, we decided that we needed to move somewhere else, and so we started shopping for land elsewhere. Awesome. And then we came up on this the place that we have now, and purchased it and started the process.
Awesome. I was mentioning to Shane that was in here before. I watch you go live on Facebook a lot. You put them on reels. You do a really good job with that, dude. I mean, good putting yourself out there, and I know that's not always easy. So yeah, cheers to you on that. But I've had several people since I started the show. I'm not even kidding. I'm not saying this because you're here. I've had 3 or 4 people that have messaged me like just private DM and said, "You got to get Christopher Grant on your show because he's like in alignment with what you guys are doing with the positivity. He's a family guy, faith guy, all these kinds of things." And so I'm glad you're finally able to make it.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the business. So what are some of the core values or the things that really, why you do the business? Because I mean, there's lots of ways to make money. You're a capable guy. You can do lots of different things. But why have you chosen to do this?
So the reason that I chose to do this, I did see opportunity. I think a lot of times it's a misconception that I think that you can follow your passion, but I think that grass grows better in fertile ground. And so I actually was going to be a chiropractor.
Oh, no kidding.
And my father's a chiropractor. And I saw that when you become a chiropractor, you have to be an entrepreneur. So I went to school. I was going to school for pre-chiropractic exercise physiology in Rexburg, Idaho. And I started doing door-to-door sales to put myself through school.
Wow.
And I was very successful at it. And I looked at it and I looked at what most chiropractors make. and how much money I was making in 3 months doing
Sure.
door-to-door sales, and I saw how much debt you have to go into to become a chiropractor and then become an entrepreneur.
Sure. Sure.
And so I was like, well, I'm making good money now, so let's do sales. I looked at my uncles, and they were successful in the car business and RV business and boat business. So I saw that there was an unlimited market for people wanting those things.
There you go.
And so
Recognize opportunity for
right,
sure.
yep,
For sure.
changed my path. But really, things have kind of changed as I've grown the business to
Sure.
the motivations and the core values and stuff. At first, it was really just to provide for my family and just make a living, right?
Sure.
But as we grew and I brought in employees and our
Team
employment-
members, yeah.
right? The motivation kind of changed because I was providing for my family already, but now I was responsible for them providing for their family.
Yes.
And so as we grow, and I have some employees, my service manager Josh, one of our office managers Jesse, my finance manager Craig. They've been with me 4+ years. I think Josh has been with me for almost 6 years. So it's been
They're
awesome.
Their family too.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and really our whole business, it just becomes one big family. We take care of each other, we help each other out, and we're growing the business together. So we all have the same
Isn't that cool?
vision. Yeah,
Shared vision. That makes a huge difference.
right.
How many staff do you have? How many team members do you have?
We're getting close to 30 right
Wow.
now. So I mean, it's doubled in the last month.
Yeah, right.
So-
But no, that's a huge responsibility.
Yes.
And like you mentioned, when you made that career or that shift in your mind of not pursuing chiropractic care, I think you're 100% right. I know that Mitch and Hannah may want to weigh in on this, but there is a time where you do want to pursue your passion, whether it be writing, podcast, marketing, whatever it is you're doing, coaching. But you do have to become a promoter and a marketer and an entrepreneur, and there's so much behind it other than just the creative piece of the business. It's the business side of business that I think is a big stumbling block for a lot of us. You're like, oh my gosh, I got taxes. Oh my gosh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got staff. I got to meet payroll. And all of a sudden it becomes less about you and more about the team and providing. And so that makes a lot of sense. Good for you. No, it's exciting. Now you're going to take all those people on the ride with you.
That's right.
They're very cool. Very cool. So tell us about some of the things you guys have. I mean, outside of the obvious, cars and RVs, which RVs and the whole recreational world has just exploded in the last year across all platforms. You know, my partner used to work for KOA, and KOA's headquarters is here, like their corporate office, where they've got 200-300 employees. A lot of people don't even realize that. But that business has obviously exploded because of COVID. Is it the same thing with RVs? I'm going to assume so, but I hate to assume things.
So yeah, it's definitely exploded, and the pandemic is really one of the reasons why we're able to build this new location anyways, because our industry just exploded.
Right.
People couldn't travel, and they still wanted to get out and do things, and so they were buying RVs and going out camping.
Go socially distance and do their thing.
Right.
But I think, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, the nice thing about RVs, or really just recreation in general, is you're really creating memories, experiences. It's all about that family time, more so than it is just the expense of buying a unit, right? It's what the unit can do for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what we try to portray at Midway. We came to the grand opening. Even if you look at the pictures, my 5 kids were there. My business partner, my Uncle Keith, his 5 kids were there.
No, I saw the picture. There was a pile of people.
There's a lot of people. But yeah, it's all about family, and that's what camping's all about. Really, is either you're spending time with your wife or your loved one, or you're getting out with your family and making sure you get that time together.
Yeah, no, I love that. Because like I said, I saw the words family, faith, family, and business. And I thought, man, no wonder everybody wants to get this guy on the show, because we're all again about the positivity. We don't like to talk about polarization and things that divide people. We want to bring people together.
That's awesome.
And that's kind of what you're doing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's next? You got this thing open, which I'm sure was because I live right around the corner. I live down in Josephine Crossing.
Okay.
And so I was literally driving by your place like every day, my motorcycle or something. And I was like, because I remember I said to somebody, I'm like, when are they going to open? And they told me like, oh, it's like the middle of July. I'm like, how's that going to happen? You know, in my mind, because all construction projects seem to take longer, but it really came together quick. So now what's next? Now that you've got it open and rolling, what's next? Because I know that you're the kind of guy that's always looking forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we did just add boats to the mix as well.
Oh, nice.
So we'll be a full bolt dealership now as well. But really what's next is just refining our processes and procedures, getting the right people in place. I mean, I got a lot of great team members now, just adding those last few pieces. My whole plan from the beginning was to, I'm obsessed with growth, personal growth, business growth, everything. And so once we figure out this larger location with our processes, procedures, and personnel, we will be expanding to other markets as well.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably west.
Wherever.
That's how I try to dig and say, you going west, going east, where are you going?
Yeah, not sure. I mean, wherever the
Opportunities lie.
Yes.
Opportunities lie.
Yep.
No, I've been talking about this as you go down 27th Street over by, I guess it would be the Gazette. You know, so the Gazette's for sale. Whatever that was, the Burger King is closed, the bank is closed, the Hub is closed, Denny's is closed, and so a lot of people would say that's kind of like a blighted area. It says, gosh, what are we gonna do? Other people will look at that and go, there's opportunity for our city, for a business, a developer, more jobs, all that kind of thing. And so, what kind of things, when you're looking at for opportunity, what kind of things do you look for?
I think that for opportunity, it's really market driven. Like when we decided to expand here, one of the big things that we saw that there was a hole in was RV service. It's really hard to get your RV in for service in a timely fashion. I mean, we got some big RV dealerships here.
Oh man, big time.
But there's so much RV service out there that they're just full, like they're out months and months.
They're booked, yeah.
And so what we're really trying to do is give people not only a great product to buy from us with our cars, RVs, and boats, but timely service as well, professional service, and a friendly person to talk to. And so I think really when we look to expand to different markets, we're going to look for communities like that, somewhere where there's something lacking that we can fill that hole.
100%. No, I always say if you can fill the gap, find a gap, fill it, you can be successful. Whatever it is, whether it be copywriting, podcasting, marketing, coaching, all that kind of stuff. So no, it's really, really cool to see you guys grow. Do you know Ray Porello?
I don't know.
Okay, I know he's talked about Midway in the past, and so I wasn't sure if he was still working with you guys. But he's another person always talking good things about you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah. So next is maybe new markets, developing the team. You got the RVs, boats, cars. I didn't know you guys. Is the cars have always been cars? You specialize in trucks, cars.
Just all pre-owned vehicles, just quality pre-owned vehicles, and that's really where we started, was just pre-owned automotive. So my grandfather, back in I think it was 1967 in Lovell, Wyoming, he bought a body shop.
Okay.
And then taught all of his sons how to do body work. So my dad put himself through chiropractic school doing body work out in a garage. And then Ken, his younger brother, he started rebuilding cars and then selling them out of the front of the body shop. Well, then he had a great idea where he could just buy cars that weren't wrecked and start selling those.
Oh, sure.
And it just started growing and growing from there. And so one thing that people will find about Midway is it doesn't feel like a normal car dealership, because none of us who run the dealerships have ever worked for a large dealership. And so we're just very grassroots. We just started from the bottom and just built it our way.
There you go. I love that.
So yeah, the
smaller family feel, that kind of thing.
Yeah, family feel, but also just easy. Like there's not the rigmarole of going back and forth with the
games.
Yeah, we just don't play those games. We figure out a fair number. We agree on the number and we do paperwork.
That's that easy. Yeah, no, because that takes when you go out and buy, whether it be a new car or an RV, it can be kind of like overwhelming. Like
yes.
And then I don't know about you guys, but you go on the lot, and of course they accost you, and then it is a game. They're like, well, how much can you afford? I didn't ask how much I can afford. I want to know how much the vehicle is, and they never really tell you. And then they do. They go back and forth, and what you can afford, and what you're going to get. Whereas if you just take some of that out of it, just makes it simple. Yeah. So last question, you were talking a minute ago about the personal growth. You're kind of obsessed with that.
Yes.
So what kind of things do you do for your personal growth? Is it books, podcasts, quotes, the Bible? You tell me.
All of it. All of it. I mean, the biggest thing in my personal growth is my relationship with my Heavenly Father and my Savior Jesus Christ.
Awesome.
I haven't always been this way.
Sure.
And I think that like through the atonement of Jesus Christ, I have been able to change and become more of a leader, become more driven, and not like power hungry,
Sure.
but growth hungry. And from that, like I've found other things and other places to motivate me and to improve myself. I do listen to podcasts. I've been a member of the Arte Syndicate with Ed Milet and Andy Frisella.
I listen to Ed Milet every month.
Oh yeah, those guys are very influential in my life. And also my family, my uncles that I've been in business with. My father, he's an entrepreneur as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just kind of in our blood for growth as well. But also just physical fitness, and then just expanding in every aspect that you can.
I love it. I can see why everybody says you needed to come on the show. That's really, really cool. No, because that was funny. Do you guys know Stevie? I think you might have been here when she was here. Do you know Stevie with the Phoenix?
I don't know.
So she runs the Phoenix, and they're all about sober living and helping people get sober and physical fitness and everything. She's amazing. But anyway, she was sitting right where you were one day, and I said the same question. I said, "Is there something you're listening to? A book, a podcast, a book, whatever?" She's like, "The Bible," and she said it just like that, like I should know. I'm like, "Amen." I'm good with that. It's just that's her story, and we don't get religious on here, but I love people's perspectives because I want to see what makes people tick, what makes people grow, and so I think a lot of people are obviously inspired by you and your family and what you're doing. So cool. So thank you for that. Absolutely. Come back again. Keep us updated on what's happening. And that's Christopher Grant, everybody. What's the best way for people to come out and see what's going on out there? Again, just west of Cracker Barrel.
That's right. Yeah, just come out and see what we have. We have a beautiful RV lot with staged RVs and everything like that. We have a ton of automotive inventory. And then if you come in our showroom, we have a bunch of boats set up right now.
Nice.
So come check it out. And just on our website,
MidwayAutoRV.com.
Come check it out, and that website will have our inventory for all 3 locations, so you can have a great shopping experience.
Whoever's running that website's a busy person. I can
tell
you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Hey, we're going to kick it to a break. Kicking with Leif on 98.5 The Wolf. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That was good.